Okay, for our last balloon, we are going to use a couple different tools, and they all work differently, but they're all very similar. So I decided to just group them all together in this one lecture here. So if you go over to where the healing brush tool is, and we click down to the patch tool, what we're going to do here is we're going to create a marquee selection around the balloon, and we're going to move it, and wherever we move it to, it's going to take that information and paste it to where the balloon was. So it's a little easier to show than to explain it, so let me just go ahead and do this. I'm just going to make a marquee selection, and now I'm going to left click and drag and move this out of the way. And as I do, you can see wherever I move that marquee selection is going to fill in that information. So if I just try to get it very close to the skyline, you can see I can kind of match it up a little bit, and I may need to do some adjusting, but let me just try to get it as close as possible, and then I let go. It's going to dissolve those together and try to fill them in. Now, this is a great way to move things out of the way, but also, it's not perfect, so I might need to use the healing brush tool or the clone stamp tool to come in here and fix this up and blend these edges in a little better. You can see there's a hot spot here. You can tell that this cloud and this cloud are identical, so I might come in here and just kind of clean this up. I'm going to undo that, and I'll show you the next one. And this is the content aware move tool, and this is the same thing, only what we're doing here is we're basically cutting out the image and then moving it, where before with the patch tool we would move the image and it would grab wherever we moved it to and replace it. Now we're actually taking this image out and moving it wherever we want. So let's just see how that looks. Same thing, I'm left clicking and dragging and creating a marquee selection. Now I'm going to left click and drag this out of the way, and it's going to place this wherever I put it and try to blend it in. When I place it, it puts it there. I'm going to hit enter to actually make it happen, to activate that effect. So now you can see that it has kind of replaced those images and moved this over here. And this looks terrible. I would have to clean this up if I was actually wanting to move this balloon, but we're not doing that. We're trying to get rid of the balloon, so we need to do the opposite. We want to select a clear space and put that over the balloon, and we got to make sure that it's taller and wider than the balloon itself. So let's start up high, make sure it's nice and wide, goes below the balloon and is wider than the balloon. And I'm going to click and select and drag it over here. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to try to look at the information around it and fill it in, but it always has this kind of weird, where you moved it away, it kind of makes this weird look, and I'm not ever too happy with this. I know you can come up here and mess around with the structure and the color and try to get different things to happen, but I've never really got it to look perfect, as easy as, say, the healing brush tool is. I always find that a little easier. So let me show you the last one. This is also content aware, and it works a little harder on bigger objects, so we'll see how it goes here, but this is probably one of the easiest things to get to work. What we're going to do is we're going to select the lasso tool, and we're just going to create our own lasso. So I'm just going to go around and lasso this up. Might have got a little too close there. You want to leave a little bit of edge. Let me hold down shift and just add that in right there. Okay, and maybe add in a little more here. So we got a nice spacing between this, because what we're going to do is we're going to apply a fill that's a content aware fill, and it's going to try to figure out the information that's around this balloon and fill that in for us. So let's see how well this works. I'm going to go to edit, fill, and then under contents, normally, we're filling in a color or black and white. This time we're going to do content aware and make sure that color adaptation is adaptation is selected, because we want to retain the colors and leave everything else as it is, and hit OK. It's going to calculate that, and then voila, it's gone. That is probably one of the quickest and easiest ways, and that seems to always work very good. It's like magic to me. I don't know how that thing works, but every time I do it, it just seems to work really, really well. And there you have it. We have successfully gotten rid of all of the balloons in this image with different methods. And like I said, it's a good practice to combine these methods. Maybe we do the content aware fill, but we see that there's some imperfection here. Maybe we want to grab the clone stamper tool, or we want to grab the healing brush tool and kind of fix that up. But very quickly we can come in and remove objects within inside of Photoshop, and they've made it really, really easy to do that.